Hello, beach friends. I'm getting a little wiser as I get older, or at least I like to think I am. I've heard the phrase the pursuit of happiness my whole life. And sure, it sounds noble, chasing happiness like it's something waiting out there for us. And here I am, driving all the way from Florida to North Carolina, like maybe I might find a little more of it along the way. But I don't think happiness is something you achieve. I think it's something that shows up when you let gratitude take the wheel and you let worry and what ifs just sit quietly in the back seat. And spending so much time searching, walking beaches, looking for shells, I've started to notice something else. Maybe it's not the pursuit of happiness. Maybe, just maybe, it's the happiness of pursuit. Coming up here, I felt hopeful. I mean, there were shells everywhere around the hotel, like little hints of what might be waiting out on the beach. So naturally, I thought this is going to be good. Now, I had my heart set on going to Shackelford Banks, but the day before I left for my trip, my boat was canceled. High winds. So I regrouped, talked it through with a beach friend, and landed on Bird Shoal instead. I figured, well, it's still an island. And they were willing to sell me a ticket, so my dream of shelling a North Carolina island may come to fruition. Now, as it turns out, I was the only person willing to go out there that day, and even while the captain gently tried to talk me out of it, this was my one day in North Carolina, and I really wanted to go shell on an island. So I was going to make the most of it with whatever I had to work with. Luckily, the cold doesn't deter me any longer, and this is the first time I'm shelling as an experienced sheller outside the Southwest Florida area. So I have absolutely no idea what was going to be out there. There were a few treasures I was hoping to find, but I can assure you I did not go home empty-handed. So if you're ready to see what all North Carolina is going to give us today, let's go to the beach. So there goes my captain. I'll try not to be too salty that he tried to talk me out of coming today. But like I said, this was the only day I have here in North Carolina. So I wanted to really make the most of it. And I'm really glad that I pushed through and I came to this particular location. Look at this. Now, I think that's a stout Tagalus. Huh, look at that. Now, I have found those over on the east coast of Florida. That's kind of cool. It's a little sparse. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Look at that, a cross-barred Venus clam. Oh, well, it's missing its like really pretty interior, but yep, I recognize that. And this, a jingle. All right, so a couple of familiar, let's see, specimens here. What else? Oh, another jingle. Oh, and it's hinged. Interesting. Yeah, actually, I think the critter is still in there, so we're not going to take too close of a look on that, but interesting. So a hinged jingle, typically I see those after storms, and it's the reason I'm here on Bird Shoals is because my trip to Shackelford Banks was canceled because of the crazy winds, but this was a little bit more protected, so I can find things like this oyster. But again, I just wanted to go out to an island. I wanted to go out a little bit more than just what I might find on the beach. These are cool. Like some sort of clam, but just very discolored from being buried. Oh, that's neat. Very different, which is what I wanted. Now the jingles here, they're so much more wavy. They're not as like flat as the ones I find here in Florida. Really interesting. So that is a jingle. Super fun. Oh, an olive. I recognize you. Yeah. A lettered olive, or a piece of a lettered olive. Oh, this is fun. So it's like almost being like a detective, like trying to figure out what these things are. I think that's also a cross-barred Venus clam, just been buried with something very high iron, I think, creates that, the orange color. Oh, wampum. All right, that we're gonna get from a northern quahog. I do, I mean, down here, shoot, maybe twice I've found it. Not often. I find the quahogs with the purple on them, but not the broken up pieces. Cool. So I don't know if you can see, the wind was still really whipping. So it's truly an island adventure that I'm on. Here is a cross-hatched lucine. I recognize that as well. Kind of fun. It gets the name from the different patterns it has on its shell. Very cool. Now, I wore my boots, so in theory, I could get in the water up to about my knees and hunt around, but it doesn't really look like there's that much in the water anyway. And that's a situation that I typically experience in Florida as well. A lot of times, whatever's on the beach is what's in the water, or vice versa. But so far, at least there's little smatterings of this and that. So, yeah, all right, we'll see what the next little treasure might be. Oh, this is actually really cool. So this is the operculum of a moon snail, or a shark eye. Yeah, I don't think I've ever found one where that's really neat. I don't know why. I mean, I know what they are. Like I said, the operculum of a moon snail. Why I'm finding it, I don't know. Is that typical? Gonna have to come back and find out maybe. But yeah, moon snail operculum. Oh, you look familiar. Oh, it's a giant Atlantic cockle. Cool. Yeah, the colors are a little bit muted. And thwack. I'm going to probably bring home a little more sand because I don't want to rinse it off. I want to stay as warm as I can. Cool. A giant Atlantic cockle from North Carolina. Yay! Okay, so this was one of the species I was really hoping to find coming up here. The baby's ear. Oh, that's just terrific. That's what I was hoping for. Good. All right. At least we found one of those. So yeah, it's a little chilly. It feels like it's 39. That gale warning is still out there. And yeah, that's why I'm here in Bird Shoals. And the tide, it is coming in. I, again, tried to time my trips, but 10 o'clock in the morning is the earliest they were willing to leave. I'm lucky I'm even here at all. A live lettered olive. Very cool. That would have been a fun specimen to collect, but we have a critter in there. So yeah, I'm just going to check out how shiny that shell might have been. Yep, and leave that creature here. Okay. So that was kind of fun. I think it's another one of those, yeah. Another one of those stout Tigelus. Reminds me of a massive, like, purplish Tigelus, which are very tiny and purple. But the stout Tigelus is a big old white thing. Okay, a clam of some sort. Yeah, it's empty. Maybe a surf clam. Somebody drilled a hole in it. Yeah. And yeah, I'm going to be taking over a lot of sand. That's okay. Try to protect my warmth while I can. That's really pretty. Now, I like the shells that are discolored because they kind of have to cook. So it's been buried in low oxygenated sand. A lot of sulfur, that'll make it black, and then I think it's the iron that'll make it orange. So we're going to get both, which is kind of fun. Oh, that's neat. Now, I had a little bit of a trouble trying to figure out what it is. The best I came up with was a Chimnitz arc clam, and I'm putting the scientific name up there too. I think that's what that is. That was really beautiful. And here we have a cluster of jingles. We can see the bodies. So like through that shell there on the right, it's kind of like pinkish. So that's the animal in there. And they've all kind of clustered around. It looks like a piece of tunicate and there's a seashell in there. So they do glue themselves to other things and they just kind of hang out and filter feed. Yep. Clearly it's broken loose for whatever it was attached to. So just kind of cool. Kind of cool. Oh, yeah, I'm hoping for some of these. So this is going to be either a channeled whelk or a knobbed whelk. The siphonal canal is on the right, so we know it's not a lightning whelk. Easy. Okay. Another jingle. Yeah, a little broken. Oh, it's hinged too. Oh, there's just definitely there's stranger up here. Wavy. I don't know how else to describe it. Whoa, the wind is whipping. Other than the shell's a little wavier. Yeah, it's very, very windy over here. And again, I guess I should just be feeling grateful that I'm here at all. There's nobody around. It's cold. I'm out here. It's the best. Love it. All right, sand dollar. So apparently up here, there's keyhole sand dollars. Or a piece, that is a piece of a sand dollar. Okay, yeah. My little island adventure. Look at this. So it is a live bay scallop. Isn't that beautiful? Now it looks like there's maybe like oysters or something trying to kind of colonize on this little scallop, but I think it's beautiful bay scallop. All right, so look at that. Got to find a critters too. The olive, a scallop. All right. Thank you, North Carolina. Oh, piece of a shark eye. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The wind is trying to take it away from me. But we have just the top. So yep. I know there's shark eyes here because I found the operculum from one. And hey, with any luck, I'll find an intact shark eye, but yep. All right, cool. That's another one of those chimneys, arc clams. I just like the beaded ribs on it. I think it's so pretty. If anyone knows what that is, help me out with the ID below. That would be much appreciated. All right, here is a mossy arc. Clearly been hanging around here for quite a while, but also it's still very recognizable. So that is a mossy arc. Let's see. I'm guessing channeled whelk. Yeah, the aperture of that has that channeled whelk opening versus a knobbed whelk. All right, it's not intact. I'm not keeping that. That is just a little bit too beat up for me. But I still have high hopes. Never know. Although it's not looking pretty good for me on the big stuff, but that's okay. Some of the smaller stuff can really be beautiful. Oh, the North Carolina State Shell, the Scotch bonnet. So there's a piece of it was buried clearly. Oh, that'd be cool to find a black Scotch bonnet. That would be very cool, but we just have a piece. All right. So I find that to be a good sign. You never know what else might be up in the upper rack lines up here. Speaking of which, let's go check out. So very windswept. And lots of dark stuff. That's kind of fun. All right, here's a lettered olive. Wow. Yeah, I wonder if that is considered a good shell, good condition? Very different from what I normally find, but that is a lettered olive. And a slipper snail. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Also been kind of buried. I like the different colors on it. That's kind of neat. All right, so slipper snail, very cool. If you were an artist and you needed the dark material, oh, this was the place to go. All right, another jingle. Fun. Oh, here's a scallop. Oh, it's intact. Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah. Nice base scallop. I imagine a little acid or little oil will really make the colors pop on that. So I had mentioned I'm on Bird Shoal, and that is a part of the Rachel Carson Reserve, which allows this coastal ecosystem to be available as a natural outdoor laboratory, where scientists, students, and the general public, like myself, can learn about the coastal processes, functions, and influences that shape and sustain the coastal area. So kind of cool. It's like an outdoor laboratory, just kind of protected and maintained. We're going to see some ponies too, but that's going to be toward the end of the video. But this was like a fun little island to kind of come here and explore. Wish the conditions were a little better, but I am kind of happy that I'm here by myself. Oh, here's another bay scallop. All right, it's probably been hanging out here for a while, but all things considered, I think that is a fine specimen. I'm going to hold on to that. Yep, that'll clean up. Lovely bay scallop. Awesome. Oh, here's another one. Oh, look at the color on that. Yeah. All right, different beach stuff here. I suspect I can get that white stuff off. That is gorgeous. Look at the color on that. Oh, here's another one. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so dark. Almost like a purple. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, obviously been hanging out here a while too. Really beautiful. Oh, look at this one. It was buried, and so you can kind of see the different colors on it. Yeah, definitely been buried. Interesting that the back is really black, but the front is still just kind of like reddish and colorful. Cool. Oh, I am loving these little clams that almost look yet like they're painted. Oh, that is so cool. Loving that. Yep, I have never seen anything like that. And this looked like a lightning whelk, but it's a knobbed whelk. We can see the siphonal canal is on the right side versus the left. Neat. So I'm hoping it didn't come all the way up here to the Carolinas and not go home with at least one knobbed whelk. Oh, here's another scallop. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so pretty. Love the color of that. So another bay scallop. Oh, that's awesome. I'm kind of surprised that I'm not finding more mystery shells, shells that are kind of stumping me. It seems to be all things that I kind of I recognize. And while I contemplate that, I think I'll be quiet for a little while and let you enjoy some beach time. All right, I was kind of hoping that I would find lentil traps. So I'm down here looking for tiny shells, and tiny shells I found. They're those little kind of clams that are different colors. I guess I was pretty determined. Okay, so I will go home with a couple of tiny shells. Not lentil traps yet, I'm still looking. Hoping that this little baby rackline, yeah. Those little clams. Look how pretty that is. So another one of those clams, but this is of the orange variety. Oh, that's neat. That is cool. So some sort of little clam. Now, you'd think that that's some sort of clam. Nope. Nope. It's a jingle. Look at the shape of it. Isn't that cool? So yeah, they're very different up here. Very different shape. Maybe the substrate is different and that's helping them somehow. So these are two more jingles and we see the jingle byssus. So that little dot there, that is what passes through the hole in the bottom of the jingle and it anchors it to its substrate. It's a whole process. Jingles are neat. They're kind of neat. I hope this is intact. Look at how black that is. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love it. I'm assuming that's a bay scallop. Very, very dark bay scallop. Yeah, another channeled, no, silly, knobbed whelk. Yep. That's going to be a knobbed whelk. Although it really does have that lightning whelk coloring on it, doesn't it? Quahog. Bet you it's going to be a northern quahog. It is with all that purple on it. But what's kind of cool is so all the area that's white, that is where the animal attached itself to the shell and then lived within the shell. The purple area is kind of extra. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it's a northern quahog. Oh, a slipper. Very, very orange. Kind of cool. Yeah, I'll take that. Coquinas. Another little fun clam. Okay, we can find those up here too in the Carolinas. Those little butterfly shells. Yep. So something else I recognize, some coquinas. Oh, a kitten paw. I recognize that as well. Yeah, been buried for a little while. Neato. All right, so a little black kitten paw. A limpet. Okay, that is very cool. Don't know if it's, yeah, I have no idea what kind of limpet or what it's supposed to. I mean, to me, it looks like a keyhole cayenne limpet, but I don't know if it is or not. Still a really neat shell. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. So look at that black baby's ear. Oh, yeah, that I can totally get on board with. That is awesome. Love the baby's ears anyway, but the fact that this guy was buried and then kind of absorbed all that color. I love it. Oh, that's really cool. And kind of, considering all the other things I'm finding. And there were a lot of other, interesting things. A lot of those kind of discolored clams that kind of soak that look painted. I thought I was really enthralled by them just because I'd never seen them before. So I spent some time picking those up. And then there were more of those bay scallops and they were really, really pretty. I love them. I love that black one there. Some of them really had beautiful coloring, a lot of the purples that I don't normally see on the shells down here. And at this point, I'm kind of just waiting for my boat to come. This isn't my last location. I have another trip planned after we leave here. So that is another cross-hatched lucine. Look at this. So this is my favorite bay scallop I found today. Look at the coloring. I just think that that is stunning between that black baby's ear and that really fun bay scallop. All right, a spiny jewel box. All right, something else that I recognize. All right, kind of interesting. So next we're headed off to, there is where I was hoping to go, Shackleford Banks, but where we're going to go is there, Fort Macon. So I can drive there, which is where we're going to head to next. Yep, there is my ride. And so I will be saying goodbye to the Rachel Carson Preserve, but not before we see a couple of ponies. So as we kind of wrap around, we can see there in the distance a couple of the wild horses that live along these islands. Now, the horses were believed to be descendants of animals brought here hundreds of years ago, possibly by early Spanish explorers or coastal settlers. Now, over time, they've adapted to the life in this environment, grazing on marsh grasses and finding fresh water in the island's natural sources. So kind of thank you so much to the captain for pointing those out. Now, they live in small groups, often called bands, and they're managed as a protected population to help maintain their health and numbers. So vets don't go out and check them unless there seems to be a problem with somebody. So that was a fun, I'm really, really glad, and I will tell you why in a minute, why I was able to get out to this island, because next we're headed over to Fort Macon. Now, Fort Macon, people had told me every time I said Fort Macon, everyone said, oh, I got Wenzel traps there. So as you can imagine, look at the wind. Those birds are having a good old time, or maybe not, hard to say. But I am here for Wenzel traps. I came to North Carolina really, really hoping to find some of those little beauties. Oh, but here's a baby's ear, a broken baby's ear. Oh, okay. And the wind is going to take care of that for me. So it's still quite windy. All right, there's a broken baby's ear. Okay. A second one. Yep. That one's a little more intact. Might hold on to that. All right, so we have grit. We have little tiny shell, kind of, sort of. All right. We'll start the hunt. Oh, another baby's ear. Terrific. Like I said, I wanted Wenzel traps and baby's ears. So at least the baby's ears are showing up for me. Thank you very much, baby's ears. Oh, look at this one. To match my black one. No, this one's not as glorious. If I had to choose, that black one was awesome. That one's kind of cool. It's a little orange. Probably will. I don't know if I'll hold on to it. We'll see. We'll just see. Oh, another one of those stripy clams. Yep, I thought they were very entertaining to me, again, because I don't typically get to see anything like that. Crosshatch lucine. Yes. Another crosshatch lucine with a little bit of coloring on there. Okay. A baby's ear. Oh, that one's kind of cool. So there are baby's ears, like a maculated one that'll have like purpose. It'll have brown on it. That one's just been buried for a little while. And a piece of a big one. Yeah. Oh, that would have been cool. What about you? Yeah. Nah. Yeah, probably pass on that. I got a couple of other ones. So no Wenzel traps. I mean, I'm hunting. I'm getting down there. I'm looking for the grit. I'm assuming that, where all the little particles are going to amass. Look, another limpet. All right, that's cool. Absolutely. Look, at this point, even just to find a intact seashell, it is not easy up here. So Between the wind, is it the wind that maybe it's just really changing the conditions? I don't know. To be fair, if I was really going to judge this beach, I would want to come here quite a few times. And then, so we have some wampum there, more wampum, and another big old hunk of wampum. So I don't think you can judge a beach by just popping over once. That is a Scotch bonnet piece. Yeah, I won't be going home with any of those today, but there's a bunch of other stuff. Let's see. Oh, a piece of urchin. I feel like Sherlock Holmes out here kind of identifying little pieces. That is another piece of Scotch bonnet. Not buried like that other piece, but that's what we're looking at there. A piece of nutmeg. Oh, well, that's kind of fun. So lots of pieces of things I'm kind of seeing, but no little Wenzel traps yet. And frankly, not all that much even intact. Oh, here is a crossbarred Venus clam that's looking pretty exciting about now. So yeah, normally I wouldn't even pick that up. But clearly I am not in Florida. So I believe that that is a mud snail. About 85% of a mud snail. So that's kind of fun. I think that's a little faded, I believe. So that's a fun little gastropod. And then this, I couldn't ID. It kind of looks like a sharp rim drill, kind of. It's a little worn down, so I can't really tell. And who knows what color it's supposed to be, but still a fun little gastropod. So I will hold on to that. Now, with the Wenzel traps, you're supposed to look for coffee grounds as well as the bubbles. Now, I haven't seen any bubbles, but I was thinking maybe this black stuff could be coffee grounds. And anytime I saw little things amassed, yep, I looked through that too. All right, another one of those lucines. No Wenzel traps. So I don't know where they are. I'm looking though. Oh, another little mud snail and a bruised nassa. Huh. All right, so I think that that's more the color that the mud snail is supposed to be. And a little bruised nassa. Okay. That's cool. So the mud snail I've never seen. That's it up here. This is my first time I'm meeting one up here in the Carolinas. Okay, lots of arcs. All right. Yep. There's an olive. All right, so I've kind of wrapped around almost, oh, finally something different, an auger. Okay. Common auger, have not seen one of those yet today. That's kind of fun. It's not in great shape, but now that for a hot second I thought maybe it was sea glass, but upon closer inspection, I actually think it's some piece of quartz or something. And I'm going to hold on to it because I just don't find stuff like that normally. So that's kind of fun. I mean, being exposed to something different, I'm definitely for it. I'm just kind of bummed that it's not exactly, I guess I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting at least one Wenzel trap, I will tell you that. But so far, Fort Macon has not, yeah, it hasn't been giving me the goods. But maybe that's just the nature of it. I don't know. Another little auger. Yeah. So it was still windy. I do remember being a little bit cold because I didn't have two jackets on. I only had one jacket on. Oh, cool. Beautiful babies here. Look how white it is. Did you see the mud snail behind it? Yeah. Awesome. That is gorgeous. And apparently I saw the mud snail too. Yay. All right. Doesn't matter. It's broken. All right. Well, I was curious. I would have been bummed to have left it behind, but apparently I did check it out. So lots of grit, but no Wenzel traps. Another fun little surf clam of sorts. So there's, there's stuff here. All right, I've made it over to, there was kind of like a jetty. So I'm going to pop on over to the other side. A lot of times rocks will kind of help stuff to accumulate. And while there is a smattering, there's no real concentration that I was kind of hoping for. It's okay. I'll still kind of pick through here because you never know. I mean, one of those things could be absolutely epic. Just one Wenzel trap. Just one. That's all I need. All right, wampum. No Wental trout, but we did get some wampum and more. That's kind of fun. You know, I was wondering about the wampum. If it like were the bigger pieces more valuable? Was it more the more color made them more valuable? I was just kind of thinking about. I wonder how wampum worked. Yeah, the wind is not letting up. Probably blew all the Wental traps somewhere very far, somewhere where I couldn't find them. I don't know. But I did get a couple of great pieces of wampum. So yeah, Fort Macon is not going to be generous with the Wental traps today, but my trip was kind of amazing. I learned a lot. I live in the most amazing part of the country if you like seashells. So that's something that at least is really, really kind of resonating with me. And I did, and I'm really glad I did. I took just a couple of minutes to kind of walk around Fort Macon, and it was cool. I do like history. Actually, the brick building, it kind of reminded me of Dry Tortugas. Just very impressive, really massive brick building. And just like any other kind of institution like this, you had your displays that talk about the history of the fort, the history of this area, and of course it had your gift shop. But one of the displays I'd like to share with you now is the one about the local shells that you can find. Now at this point I kind of started scratching my head going, almost all of these I can find in my backyard. So it's a pretty good thing that that whole happiness of pursuit has bitten me, because I was just happy to experience something different, see completely different beaches, and pick up a little bit of garbage while I was there. So yes, there was just a tiny bit of garbage, and it added up to 0.25 ounces, and that's okay because in total I've removed a little over 92 pounds of garbage from beaches. Now, the goodies that I did collect. So there were a bunch of those jingles. Really interesting. There was a spiny jewel box. I've done gun color here. So these are all the tannish colors. There were some baby's ears. The operculum from the moon snail, which was really cool. Here's some dark shells, scallops, kitten paw, slipper snail, jingles in there, some oysters, that chunk of quartz, I think it is. We have some wampum, the tagalus, the stout tagalus. There is a piece of a knobbed whale, coquinas, some surf clams down there. Here's the crosshatch lucines. These other clams that were just all fabulous little colors, looked like they were painted. There was some augurs, that olive, mud snails, the bruised nasses in there somewhere. There were those clams. And then these bay scallops I thought were really, really pretty. But my favorites were that black baby's ear, that other two-tone baby's ear, these other gastropods, the mud snail, the mystery snail, the limpet, and that gorgeous bay scallop. So North Carolina was beautiful. I am so glad I got to go to Shoals, see some horses. But next week we're headed to South Carolina, and it would not be possible if I did not have the support from my Patreons. So Patreons, thank you. Thank you for choosing to support me. Believe me, you were on my mind the entire time. It was a 14-hour drive up to North Carolina, started shelling the next day. It was a hectic it was quite a trip, but anyway, if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have happened. So thank you so very much for allowing me to go out and explore more beaches. So next week, we're heading to South Carolina. We're going to 2 different locations. So until then, I hope you have yourself a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.